Afternoon, my dear colleagues. Today we want to talk about, am I a good teacher? And I'm sure most of you have good experience since you taught for young learners and adults. Maybe that's why you have experience, more experience. Maybe you know how to teach better than me. Okay, let me introduce myself. Maybe you know me, Yusuf KASIMİ from Düzce University, and maybe when you were a student in universities, you are familiar with me, you know me, who am I? That's why I am very interested to see you in Düzce, maybe in future. We want to talk about some features or characteristics of a good teacher today. Okay, a good teacher. What is or are the features or characteristics of good teacher? I want to give some tips or ipuçları about being a good teacher. Okay, we shall talk about many topics, your school and your professional community, your classroom, your students, and you as a teacher, and elements of lesson planning, classroom communication, motivation. Finally, we should talk about professional development. Okay, why should we develop our profession? Let me here remind you that teaching or being a teacher is not a trade. In fact, teacher is, or teaching is, a kind of professional meslek, okay? Like engineers, like doctors. That's why we should first accept that we have a profession, and this is teacher. This is not our trade or job. It is our tradition. Okay, let's start with your environment, your school. Okay, all of you work in school. This is your environment. Maybe you spend more than 10 hours in your schools every day, and you have interaction with your colleagues, your principals, with your supervisors. That's why, first of all, having positive and good atmosphere, I mean, working environment, influence your success, influence your ability in teaching. That's why having a good atmosphere in your school, wherever you teach, is important for you. Do you hear me, Mr. Bekir Hoca? Duyuyor musunuz? Sanıyorum bir ekranda bir şey var.
Yusuf Hocam merhaba, ben Mehmet Karabaşoğlu. Bekir Bey müdür beyin yanına kadar çıktı, şimdi gelecek.
Sesim geliyor.
Yalnız, sesiniz geliyor.
Sesim geliyor.
Hocam internet bağlantınızın sinyalinde sanırım bir düşme var. O yüzden ekranda donma ve sesinizde donmalar yaşanabiliyor.
Sıkıntı yok, sıkıntı yok, sıkıntı yok. O zaman beni duyuyor arkadaşlar. O zaman izninizle devam edelim.
Kolay gelsin hocam.
Okay. Okay, dear colleagues, as I said, in order to improve your profession, or in order to be successful in your school, first of all, you should have positive atmosphere in your school. Here's some, if I ask you, how do you interact with your colleagues or your friends in the school, you can find some answers to this question, whether you do or not. If you do them, we show that you are a good teacher. For instance, if you socialize with your friends, and if you have collaboration with all your friends in the school, and if you support each other, I mean, if you support your colleagues, and if you act as a motivator in school, you are successful, you do your profession good. And you should do what? Small smile, the role of small smile. I mean, küçük bir tebessüm. Every day you see your friends, even your students. If you start good morning with hi, hello to your friends, students, smile, influence or has power effect on your teaching. Okay, if you try to resolve conflicts or and reduce tensions in the school, also have positive role in being a good teacher. I wonder, do you discuss your students' needs with your colleagues? It is a good technique in school, or do you encourage teamwork with, I mean, with your colleagues, even with your supervisor or staff members? Also, if you participate in all school activities, has good and positive role in being a good teacher. And I recommend you not always complain everything in the school. Okay, some teachers used to complain everything, but I recommend you not to complain every time, everything to each other. And also do not criticize your colleagues, or especially do not criticize less trained or inexperienced teachers in front of your friends, okay? These are some tips in order to have a successful interaction with your colleagues, with your friends in school. Here I want to talk about your classroom, your students, and your position in the school, okay? As you know, in the past, the role of teachers was different from now, okay? It has completely changed the role of teacher, from teacher-centered to student-centered. Nowadays, there are many modern techniques, approaches, and learning theories that we teachers, you teachers should be familiar with them. In fact, in modern language teaching, the atmosphere of the classroom has changed completely from the past. Okay, if I want you, in order to change your classroom to a pleasant and useful environment, what can we do as a teacher? Okay, what can we do as a teacher to change our form of classroom to a pleasant and positive environment? Do you organize classroom space and seating is important, type of shape of seating. Do you display or show your students' work in your room and elsewhere in the school? If you display your students' works or projects in your classroom or school, they be motivated. And if you display visual aids and also change sometimes the type of shape of your classroom, this brings positive atmosphere to your classroom. Let me talk about your role as a teacher. How do you feel when you are teaching? How do you feel? Different roles we teachers can have in the classroom according to the type of activities we do or the skill that we teach. We gain or we attain different roles as a teacher. Think about your last teaching, maybe 2 weeks ago, maybe 2 months ago. Think your last lesson and what was your role as a teacher in the classroom? Do you think you were manager of the classroom, conductor of the class, psychologist in the classroom, controller, checker, motivator, actor? Are you good at acting? The teacher should have these qualities. Monitoring. Also, the good teacher should be helper when it's necessary. Organizer, good organizer. At the same time, the good teacher should be a good lecturer and good facilitator in the classroom, good explainer and entertainer. Okay, you should choose these roles. Can you able to be a good assistant at the same time, a good organizer in the classroom or not? Okay, here I want you a little bit talk about, as I said, I'm talking or I'm giving some practical tips for you. At the beginning of my speech, I said you might be more experienced than me because I'm sure you talk to young learners, adolescents, even maybe for adults. You have practical knowledge and you have experience, and experience is important than knowing theoretical knowledge. Daily plan is very important, crucial for the teacher. Preparing daily plan is like what? Think about tomorrow you are going to invite somebody or some your friends to your home for a dinner. Okay, you should do what? Before they coming, you should be aware of what dishes or what do they like or dislike about their food. You should gain some information about what do they like or prefer to eat. Otherwise, if they come to your home and you prepare the best food for them, but maybe some of them wouldn't like them. Maybe they have diet. That's why you should be aware of which foods or meals do your guests prefer. And daily lesson planning is the same. You should be aware of what do your learners need? What do they like? Okay, that's why you need to know about their needs analysis. Needs analysis. While you are preparing daily lesson plans, you have to consider some facts. Okay, for instance, what elements of needs analysis you should consider. Your level of your students' proficiency, for instance, or their individual learning styles. You have to be familiar with your learners' learning style and what students should be able to do when they finish the course. That's why while preparing daily lessons, lesson plan, you should know your learners, their characteristics, their needs. That's why making needs analysis is important. Here, let's talk about elements of a lesson. Here, I want to talk the elements of a lesson again. As I said, we shall talk about at the final, your professional development. Here, I am going to give some tips for you. I prepared some articles here. Okay. I think while you are preparing a lesson plan, you should be careful because of you have different learners. They have different interesting. Some maybe loves audio, some maybe love visual activities. In order to be to have a successful lesson, you should know your learners. For instance, while you are teaching or presenting your lesson, do you use both oral and visual aids in the classroom? Have you ever thought about this? Do you present concepts in a natural context, or do you usually monitor your voice? I mean, get feedback, even your learners, students can hear you or not. Do you change your position in the classroom sometimes in order to be sure that your learners can easily hear you or see you? Do you check them to be sure that they are interested in the topic or not? Do you change sometimes the tone of your voice or the melody of your voice or not? If you check these questions, if you find the answer to question, you can find your weakness and strengths of yourself. It's better sometimes to video or record your lesson and look or watch your recorded video and find your strengths and weakness of your lesson. Okay. Let me talk here about, I prepared some good guidance for you, tips. Also in the classroom, as a teacher, be careful. Talk to your students, speak to your natural language, okay? Natural language, use the daily words or the idioms or phrases that they really need in their daily life. That's why you do not need to use artificial language in your classrooms. Okay, types of activities also important, makes the teacher successful and unsuccessful. We should consider and know the types of activities in order dealing with the boredom or not making them to be bored or tired in the classroom. You should prepare different activities, okay? As you know, activity is completely different from exercises. Activities, especially communicative activities, brings what? Exciting motivation to the classroom. Since nowadays students need to understand communication, need to be able to communicate in the target language. That's why while preparing activities or giving activities, you should be familiar with different kinds of activities. For instance, again, think about yourself. Which activities do you usually apply in your classroom? Brainstorming, pair working activities, role play activities, very useful problem solving activities, or information gap in communicative approach, you know, information gap or opinion gaps, or dialogues. There is storytelling, question and answer activities, or songs, vocabulary practice, drama, storytelling. As you know, songs by itself or storytelling have very important factor in your classroom, especially why songs? With songs, we can do many things. First of all, we can teach new words for them. We can make familiar our students with pronunciation, intonation, juncture. And as I say, songs brings what? Songs bring exciting to the classroom. When they are tired or feel boredom, the songs, listening to songs enhances their motivation. Okay, here let's talk a little bit about classroom communication. Here, classroom communication is important. We teachers should give activities to students in order to enhance their communicative competence or communication skills of our learners. They should be able to use language outside of the classroom successfully. That's why, as a teacher, we should consider how much time or the amount of the time we are talking in the classroom. Do we let our students to talk themselves with their peers or friends or not? If you think that whatever you want to say, your students can say themselves, let themselves. let them talk in English with their friends. Okay, that's why creating a group work in the classroom using language in the classroom have much benefit in the classrooms. There are many group working have too much or many benefits in the classrooms, or that's why when you let them to use the target language in the classroom, be sure they will love the language. And you as a teacher will not be sit at the center. And you automatically will change your classroom from teacher-centered to student-centered. And when they have group work with each other, it brings what? Motivation for them. They feel responsibility for being a good student. Okay? And also it will decrease, be dependent to the class, to the teacher. That's why, as a teacher, please prepare or give activities which as a group work. Okay, and as a teacher also you should ask this question. If possible, as I said, you can video or record your classroom and watch the video or listen to the audio record of your classroom, show your or watch your show your video to your colleagues and discuss with your colleagues. Do they like it? Okay, ask their opinion whether your class was useful or not. Okay. Okay, as I said, I prepare too much thing to tell to you, but here are some important, whatever here I take note. Again, some important issue or problem that we teachers have, the classroom management. Classroom management is also important for you, okay? Classroom management. I'm sure you are experienced and you yourself solve these problems, okay? That's why you should be aware of in order to have a positive atmosphere in your classroom. Classroom management is essential because it enhances your teaching and learning. Here I want to talk about the role of motivation. Okay, role of motivation and attitude for both learners and teachers. Hocam bana bir şey mi diyeceksiniz?
Yusuf Hocam, araya girebilir miyim?
Buyurun.
Şimdi İl Milli Eğitim Müdürümüz Murat Yiğit Bey yayında hem size bir hoş geldiniz demek ve öğretmen arkadaşlarına bir selamlama yapmak ister müsaadenizle.
Estağfurullah, buyurun.
Müdürüm buyurun.
Kasım Hocam merhaba, nasılsınız?
Selamlar olsun size, selamlar. Nasılsınız?
İyiyim, teşekkür ederim. Sayın Hocam, kıymetli meslektaşlarım, hepiniz hoş geldiniz eğitimimize. Bugün tabii farklı bir yöntemle çok kapsamlı bir öğretmen eğitimi gerçekleştiriyoruz sizlerle birlikte. Bugün 9 oturum halinde arkadaşlar. Şu anda son oturumları yapıyoruz. 1500'ün üzerinde öğretmenimize eğitim gerçekleştirmiş olduk. Düzce Üniversitemize, sayın hocalarımıza çok teşekkür ediyorum ben. Sizlere de katılımlarınızdan dolayı çok yüksek bir katılım var gerçekten. Çok sağ olun. Emeğimize saygı gösterdiğiniz için. Diğer günlerde de katılmanızı istiyoruz arkadaşlar son güne kadar. Çünkü biz bunu sizler için yapıyoruz. Sayın Hocam çok teşekkür ediyorum.
Rica
Yusuf
ederim.
Hocam
Ben
çok sağ olun.
teşekkür ediyorum.
Başarılar dilerim eğitimde sizlere.
Çok sağ olun. Size de çok teşekkür ediyoruz biz. Çok sağ olun. Çok da memnun oldum. İnşallah yakında görüşürüz. Bir Ankara'ya da bekleriz. Ben de gelince oraya size gelirim. Çok memnun
İnşallah
oldum
bekleriz
hocam.
hocam. Sağ olun.
Çok teşekkürler.
Sağ olun. İyi ders.
Buyurun hocam. Yusuf hocam buyurun.
Okay. Okay, dear friends, dear colleagues, I want to talk about the role of motivation. Okay, motivation is everything for both learners and teachers. Not only learners needs to motivation, we teachers also need to be motivated. We motivated. Here, in order to know teacher qualities and the good teacher properties, what are the teacher qualities or the best teacher qualities? Teachers' qualities have a great deal to do with new motivated students, okay? There is a survey that in questionnaire asked by the learners who are good teachers. Here the answers, according to the answers of the students who they recognized or selected good teachers. A good teacher should have the following qualities according to, as I said, a survey which done in Europe. Teachers who believe, the students believe that those teachers who believe in me and make me believe in him is the best teacher. That's why you should believe in your students and make sure that everyone understands the students. The students say that if my teacher understands me, feels me, I love that teacher. Also, some students say that teacher let the students do lesson by themselves. Those teachers who let their students do some works themselves, they are loved by their students. Those teachers who use movement, body language, gesture are good teachers. Teacher, according to the questionnaire answers, they say that teachers read in a tone that makes meaning clear to us. Some of the students say that those teachers who let us to work, have group work, we love these teachers. And most of them believe that those teachers who let us to have play games in the classrooms, we love them. And according to the survey questionnaire, most of the students find these teachers as a bad teacher. Who are they? They believe that if the teacher is very strict, we do not like or love them. If the teacher shouts, barmak for us, without any reason, we hate him. We do not like him. And if the teacher is nervous and bad-tempered in the classroom, we hate him. If the teacher doesn't smile in the classroom, we do not like him. And some students say that some teachers use testing sınav, testing o marks, we do not like him because they say that teacher afraid of from the testing or mark or points. And most, again, some students believe that those teachers who speaks above our heads, yukarıdan bakıyorlar, we do not like him or her. And also, bad teachers, according to the survey, are those who gives a lot of tests. Okay, these are the characteristics of bad teachers according to a survey which done in Europe. Okay, let me find another some important tips in order to be a good teacher. Okay, now I'm going to count or give some adjectives related to our profession. Okay, think about them, which from this list, which 5 or 10 adjectives do you have? For instance, interesting, loving, reliable, okay, neat being neat, engaging, patient, modest, exciting, motivated, imaginative, friendly, devoted, flexible, creative, encouraging, consistent, caring, warm, sympathetic, okay, organized. These are some adjectives which we teachers should have. Or empathic, pleasant. Okay, think about yourself. Do you have these adjectives with yourself? Are you a warm or sıcakkanlı? Do you have this adjective teacher? If you have these adjectives, proprietors, be sure you are a successful teacher. Okay, you are a successful teacher. Okay, teacher-student relationship, another issue we should be aware of that. Okay, teacher-student relationship. Remember, in the past, which teachers do you still remember them? Which of them you still remember them? Okay, we all remember those interesting good teachers from our primary schools. We do not forget them because they had influence on our character. Sometimes we love them as much as our father, but most of teachers we forgot them. Those teachers who had positive influence on us when we were a child, in fact, they did what? They guide us as a teacher, as a father, as a mother. Okay, that's why kinds of communication with your students is very important. Okay, You should decide whether do you know the names of your students? How do you call your students? Do you have enough information about your students' social life, about their family background knowledge? Do you have? Do you always greet with them? Do you always start talking with them with a small smile? Do you try to create a friendly and supportive and non-threatening atmosphere with them? Okay. Do you use small talk before starting your class? As I say, do you use gestures, body language in order to invite your class? Do you project confidence, strength, optimism in your classroom or not? Okay, classroom having successful classroom communication is, as I said, important for good teacher. But the most important issue that today I want to talk about them is, as I said, teaching profession. It's not a trade. Profession. That's why we do not need to think that 10 years ago, 12 years ago, 20 years ago, we got a degree from our university and we became a teacher. No, it's not enough. We as a teacher should find ways to improve our profession. How? There are many ways, many techniques to enhance, increase our profession. Okay, the past is past. As I say, nowadays, the classrooms, type of teaching, type of learning, different theories, different methods and techniques are used throughout the world. Okay, that's why we have to improve our profession as a good teacher. Okay, here you have, we should do what? We should use, first of all, from the technology, okay? The technology as a teacher nowadays in the classroom. Okay, ask this question as a teacher in past, for instance, in 2 years, did you attempt to taking in conferences, language teaching, training conferences? Did you write any article? Did you use different activities, books, or you only did on your own book? What the Ministry of Education gave to you, the book, or you as a teacher go and find other resources using technology, different books, new articles? Or are you a member of professional or associated in teacher training? Do you have any contact with your colleagues and discuss your problems with them? Or taking course even? There are many options and choices to improve our profession. As I say, taking courses, exploring published research related to our teaching, reading new books, searching computer, and searching new information about new ideas about teaching. As I say, the best thing that as a teacher we can do, at least we can participate in conferences or seminars related to our teaching. Okay. Action research, dear colleagues, action research has many benefits to our profession, having a good action research. As I said, peer observation. We should sometimes go and ask our colleagues as a student, as a teacher, and go observe your colleagues, see your friends. How do they teach? And talk about the negative or positive teaching methods that your teacher, your friend did. As I said, video taking or recording from your lesson teaching is the best thing, useful thing for us. Also, preparing portfolio assessment. Portfolio. These are brings what? These are enhances our proficiency. Okay, we have 5 or 10 minutes. I'm going to finish with this matter: annual or seasonal professional growth plans. We teachers should do this. Okay, don't think that let bygone be bygone. Geçmiş geçmişte kalmış. No, don't think about it. As a teacher, we should decide how to improve ourselves as a teacher. Okay, at the beginning, for instance, at the beginning of semester or at the beginning of the year, you should have somewhat portfolio or a chart, make a chart and decide about your programs, your activity, your course, your daily plans, field trips, okay? Maybe you as a teacher ask from a guest to come to your classroom as a native speaker, talk in English, okay? Or class events, you should take notes, and at the end of the semester, you should compare them, whether you were successful or not. With this, having a portfolio in order to develop your professional or trade. Okay, what else I can say about the useful of portfolio? Okay, at the end of each year, each semester, let's compare. What did you do? Are you satisfied? What did you do or not? Okay, show your portfolio or action research to your friends, ask their ideas, and have discussion with them, and evaluate your progress. Okay. And this is some important I want to say. If you feel you have some insufficient knowledge in any skills of language as a teacher, what can you do? Think about these skills. You have insufficient target language vocabulary. Are you interested to take course in language courses? Do you have attention to take part in workshops? And do you consciously work on building vocabulary? Maybe you need to gain much vocabulary, okay? Would you like to invite some guests, as I say, native speakers to your classrooms who found them useful? Do you systematically, as I say, follow whatever is done in our field? Do you systematically listen to radio or TV programs in target language? Do you read newspapers in target language? Or do you consciously analyze the language of newspapers and magazines? Okay, that's why you should consider these facts in order to enhance, improve your proficiency in language teaching. I think we have finished, and it is 5 exactly. If you have any question about our lesson, you may ask them. As I said, sorry for having some problems with technology, but the best quality of future for a teacher nowadays, being familiar with using technology. Okay, I'm sure you can do them, but we had 5 minutes delay here because of technology. Okay, I want to thank all of you for your patience listening to me, and hope to see you in Düzce very soon.
Yusuf, Kasim hocam, dear, welcome again. Can I ask a question to you, please?
Okay, I see you, I hear you.
I'm sorry, my name is Adam, Yurdunkulu from Jumayeri Secondary School. And first I can say that it's very kind of for me to meet with you. You said that...
I would like also to meet you, okay, very soon. Please.
Thank you. Firstly, you said that we should motivate students for the lesson, you know. But I think that firstly, the teachers also should be motivated by the managers. And then I have a question for you. Please answer this question. You said that you give a little smile, that's küçük gülücükler, or you should be friendly like that. But these are secondary school students, so it's very difficult. They see that our teachers friendly, lovely, so we can do everything. We shouldn't study our lessons, or anyway, we can pass the class, we can pass the exam, so we don't need to study. It's a very big problem for the teachers. So there's a balance for this. What can we do?
You say that how can you? Sorry, I can't. Sorry, might you repeat your question again? How I think that you say the way of motivating your secondary students.
Yes, motivate, but also our students can misunderstand us. You know.
Yeah.
We
Here,
little smile or friendly, but there should be a little balance for this, because otherwise our students don't want to study their lessons because our teachers are very friendly, lovely. Oh, gel de yat arkana, like that, you know. So what can we do for this?
Okay, I got your question.
Thank you.
Thank you for your question. Let me say that let your students feel that you are not his teacher. You are at the same time his father, brother, okay, friend. If they believe in you, and they will be motivated and believing to a teacher the best way to be motivated. There should be a balance. Okay, I know. Okay, and while you want to motivate your students, okay, consider the culture. Okay, sometimes in some society, okay, while you want to motivate somebody, laughing to them or touching to him, differs from society to society, from country to country. Okay, as a teacher, you should balance. Okay, what do they need? How can you increase their motivation as a teacher, as a brother, as a friend? Sometimes your role will be friend. Sometimes you are controller. Sometimes you are a speaker. Sometimes you are authority in the classroom. That's why you should decide as a teacher, how can I increase my students, okay, motivation. Motivation is everything, not only for teachers, for learners. We teachers should be motivated, okay? We need to be motivated.
Okay, thank you. And also, I want you to come to our schools, for example, once a month or once in a month. That I mean, you should come to our class and you see the real situation. That not everything is theoretical information. The practice application is very important. Okay, you explain some things, but really,
I know you have some discipline problem. I think that you say that you have some discipline problems with your students according to their age.
Yeah.
Is it correct?
Yeah.
How old are they?
They are 11 and 13.
Okay, adolescent students.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
not high school, secondary school, middle school, you know?
Secondary school. As I said, adults, okay, 11 or 12 years old.
Yeah,
there are some techniques to motivate them, different from very young or adults. Okay, as a teacher, we should find some techniques. Okay, for instance, singing a song or showing them stories, good stories, motivates them. Okay, I feel that they're very difficult for teachers to manage them in the classroom.
Yeah.
Big, huge discipline problems. But don't forget, good teachers should be patient.
Of course.
Patient.
So we are here to improve ourselves. So we are here.
Yeah, these are some experience that you get from your classrooms. Okay, you can find some better solution. As I said, if you have a video record, for instance, 2 times in a month, and look or watch your video, what did I do as a teacher? Why Ali didn't stop? Why Ali cried? Okay, and these issues, if you let your colleagues also watch your video and share their ideas together, share your friends' idea, your colleagues, okay, you can find good solutions.
Okay.
Thank you very much for your question.
Thank you, Yusuf KASIMİ hocam. Thank you.
Okay, I hope to see you in Düzce very soon.
I hope so.
Okay, another question. If not, okay, let's say me goodbye for you. And if I come to Düzce also, we as a faculty have intention to have these kind of conferences in order to enhance our profession. Okay, we had last year one in Düzce University. We have also intention to have this kind of seminars or conferences in order to be more familiar with what happens in teaching field, in methodology. Okay, these are, as you know, the role of methodology teaching changed from the past. That's why we should be familiar with the post-method era. okay, cooperation, cooperative participant, using technology in the classrooms. We have intention to have this kind of conference in Düzce. I will talk to Osman Hoca also. These are useful activities should be done by teachers at least annual or 2 times in a year.
Of course, we are waiting for you.
As I see from Özlem Hoca says, we need seminars. Okay, seminars are very crucial, necessary for us. We have to be familiar with what changes, what happening in the world. Okay, in the world. As I said, now language teaching, we teachers should at least do this: enhance their communication competence. Our students do not need only to be familiar with writing or grammatical writing. Okay, how can we enhance their communicative competence? Okay, nowadays in the world, this is the most important issue that methodologists always seek for solve this problem. Okay, when the students go in real world, outside the classroom, they have to use this target language. Well, as a teacher, we should find some ways in order to enhance their communicative competence. We can give them what? You use authentic materials. That's why teachers of modern world should improve their profession, being familiar with post-method area.
Yusuf KASIMİ hocam, our students, most of them has got a prejudice for English, for foreign language. So most of them think that I don't speak English, I don't speak or French or German. So what can we do for this? You know that their family or other environments, friends or people don't know English, so they cannot able to help the students. So they think that we are not able to speak English, we are not able to speak foreign language. So they come to class in this idea. It's very difficult for us. What can we do?
Here, the essential thing or the most important thing as a teachers we can do, we should change their attitudes and motivation toward the language. Okay, attitude comes first. Attitude, onların tutumu is important.
Okay,
they should love the target language. They should love the, as you know, the motivation, the kinds of motivation, instrumental, integrated, in-stringing, extrinsic. Okay, they should have all kinds of motivation, and they should change their attitude toward the target language. They have to love rationalism, or some say that Turkish is the best language. Maybe they think this. You should change this. You make them humanistic approach. Teach to them from the humanistic approach. Okay? All people in the world are equal. We need language. This is the language of the world.
Yeah.
If you want to buy a drug, if you want to buy a mobile, you need to be familiar with the language. Maybe your students do not love the culture of target language, but at least they have to like the target language itself. Instrumental motivation or extrinsic or integrated motivation.
Okay.
They should be motivated. They should change their attitudes toward the language. Positive attitude, especially children have positive attitudes, but adults might have negative attitudes toward the target language. Think about Turks living in Germany, okay? Germany. Yeah. They still, most of them still cannot use or do not speak Germany because of what? Because of they have negative attitude toward German culture. They say, they believe that Turkish language is the best language. But children do not have this feature. If you send your child to Germany, within 5 or 6 months will be able to use German language. But your grandfather, mother still cannot speak Germany because of having negative attitude, isn't it?
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Wow.
Have a good day.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Yusuf Hocam yorduk mu sizi?
Yok Bekir Hoca, çok memnun oldum. Bu biraz teknolojinin ilk 10 dakikasında azizliğine uğradık. Kusura
Yok hocam,
bakmayınız.
estağfurullah. Hiç
Bu
problem.
ilkiydi. Bundan sonra inşallah iyi olur. Tüm arkadaşlara ben bunu bir sorular da sormuş olabilirler. Burada göremedim bazı. Yani gördüm de cevaplayamadık. Onlara ben written form olarak sorduklarına cevap vereceğim. Çok teşekkür ediyorum. Biz mutlu olduk bir kere sizin bu konferansı tertip etmenizden ötürü. Çok teşekkür ediyorum Milli Eğitim Müdürümüze, Düzce'de emeği geçen herkese çok teşekkür ediyorum. Umarım az da olsa bir şeyler verebildik. İnşallah bunu Düzce'de üniversite olarak, biz bir eğitim fakültesi olarak böyle bir seminerleri düşünüyoruz. Hocalarımız son teknoloji ve son metotlarla daha da böyle tartışarak neler oluyor bu eğitim camiasında, bizzat İngilizce bölümünde. İnşallah oradan da sizi davet ederiz, siz de gelirsiniz, biz de sizden faydalanırız.
İnşallah hocam, inşallah İnşallah hocam yüzde bir
Bir
program yapmak
kardeşime
nasip
çok
olur.
teşekkür ediyorum. Herkese, bazı arkadaşlar yazdı. İlknur Altıner, thanks for present. Ben teşekkür ediyorum. Thank you İlknur Hoca. Hepinize çok teşekkür ediyorum. İlginiz, alakanız için. Şener Hoca çok teşekkür ediyorum. Burada yazıyorlar arkadaşlar. Ümit Akar kardeşim çok teşekkürler. Sizi tanıyorum. Çok da yakından da görüşmek istiyorum. İnşallah bu bela kurtulur. Seneye bir araya geliriz. Verda Hoca çok teşekkürler. İnşallah yakından da böyle bir güzel bir konferans tertipleriz.
Musa hocam, el kaldırdığınızı yeni gördüm. Buyurun hocam.
Teşekkür
Musa
ederim.
Gökçe.
No problem.
Hello.
No
Erdem
question,
Kurnaz
no
hocam.
problem. I
Erdem
just want
hocam
to
çok...
thank.
Okay. Maybe some of you have still some questions. If hocam eğer zamanımız varsa, if we have time, let them ask the questions. Ümit Akar el kaldırmış.
Hemen bakalım hocam.
Yasemin Sivrikaya acaba bizim okay, let them ask the questions. Musa Gül, thank you.
Tuba hocam siz de oradan müdahale edebilirsiniz. Ümit hocam ben göremedim.
Dediğim gibi, bu arada bunu da söyleyeyim, herkes dursun. Ben hep öğrencilerimize be familiar with technology diyorum ama kendim bu konuda insufficient. Burada da dezavantajlarını görüyorum. Onun için şimdi öğrencilerimize lütfen let them be more familiar with using computer technology. Okay. Burada ama ben gördüğünüz gibi biraz aciz kalıyorum. Çünkü biz eğitim fakültesinde bunu görmemiştik. And let me remind some important things. Again, I forgot. The good teacher should be a good psychologist. Okay, if you hear me, I forgot to tell you, remind you, remember, a good teacher should be a psychologist. Okay, if you be familiar with psychology or psychology, be sure you automatically will solve most of problems related to education. Psychologist. Any question?
Yeah.
Okay, we need much more time for sharing idea. Okay, I think we have, if possible, give some at least 5 or 10 minutes for them.
Mr. KASIMİ, first of all, thank you very much. actually, I got my answer in your previous speech. But not just asking, I want to thank you.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thanks a lot for this lecture, as it's been a reminder.
Sorry,
and
may I ask your name? May I ask your name? Sorry.
Ümit.
Ümit Hoca, yeah,
Yes.
Continue, I hear you, yeah.
Actually, I got my answer in your previous speech, but I have a chance to talk to you. So I just want to thank you, as it's
I'm
been
lucky to
this.
hear you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
this has been a reminder and a demo. I mean, of our past university times. Actually, this conference has reminded us most of the steps we have to follow as a teacher, and which are sometimes, occasionally, likely to be neglected in the classroom atmosphere. You know, you've highlighted especially the motivation case quite often. Being motivated of the students is the key, I believe, and all our colleagues believe so. But which is the most challenging one? In any case, if someone is motivated in any method, he or she can do it. Anyone can do it if motivated. And as teachers, even just motivating someone is a profession itself.
Good.
Because it involves many other cases in its context. So teaching is really a challenging action. However, it's very delightful. And finally, I just want to thank you and looking forward to attend
sorry,
your conferences.
Ask you, from which university did you graduate?
I've graduated from Aksaray University, but in the past
Aksaray.
I've been
English language department?
Yes, English language teaching department.
Good.
But I've been to abroad before. I had some education in Malta and in England before.
Good.
And I'm looking forward to attend your conferences as well. And thank you very much for your time. And my greetings to everyone. Thank you.
It will be good chance for me to meet you from near.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a good day. Thank you.
You too. And greetings to all my colleagues from me.
Thank you. Thank you. If any question, okay, let Shirin Şimşir, thank you. Bekir Hoca 5 dakika daha verebilir misiniz? Arkadaşların soruları olabilir.
Tabii ki hocam. Şu an el kaldıran varsa açabiliriz hocam. Tuğba hocam siz de takip edin. Ben şöyle bakıyorum. Şu an herhangi bir el kaldıran göremedim. Olursa şey yaparız hocam. Chat kısmında da yazabilirsiniz. Oradan da görebiliriz arkadaşlar. El kaldıramıyorsanız mikrofonumuzu açın diyen olursa oradan da açarız. Şöyle hızlıca geçiyorum. Şu an göremedim hocam. Hocam kapanışta araya kaynamasın Yusuf hocam. Ağzınıza yüreğinize sağlık öncelikle.
Çok teşekkür ediyorum. İlk fırsatta inşallah yakından da görüşürüz. Ben herkese sabırla dinledikleri için çok teşekkür ediyorum. Umarım ki ben dediğim gibi arkadaşların benden daha çok tecrübeleri var. Bizzat çocuklara young learner dediğim şeylere bir patience, sabır istiyor. Onlarda o vardır. Practical yollarını biliyorlar. İnşallah yakından birbirimizden ben de onlardan çok faydalanmam gerekiyor. Onların practical, pratik şeyleri kayda değer. Biz de onlardan inşallah istifade ederiz. Hepinize iyi akşamlar diliyorum. Bizzat da size bugün sabah yorduk. Çok sağ olun. Çok emeğiniz geçti.
Düzce'ye geldiğinizde muhakkak bekliyoruz hocam.
İnşallah, inşallah. İyi akşamlar diliyorum.
İyi akşamlar. Ağzınıza yüreğinize sağlık
iyi
arkadaşlar.
akşamlar, iyi akşamlar. Çok teşekkür ederim.
Hepinizin kıymetli zamanlarını aldık. Hepinize katılımlarınız için çok teşekkür ediyoruz. Bir başka programda buluşmak üzere diyoruz. Sağ olasınız arkadaşlar.